bro starts Googling it. Like, thanks, sir. I didn't try that first. Like, also, he's like a corporal. Really? Isn't that like a higher than officer? Hey, this is part 2 of Wednesday's episode. And first of all, I'm a fucking idiot because remember how I was talking about all the side effects of not taking my medication, including being very nauseous? I've been nauseous all day, and I was like, why am I so fucking nauseous? And then I sat down to take off my makeup, and then looked to the right of me and saw my medication and went, no, why am I like this? Because I forgot to take my medication at least today. I'm actually thinking it's probably been 2 days because, like, I'm like the level of nauseous where I'm breathing out of my mouth, which you thought I would have learned like literally 3 days ago. But do you know what? A lot has happened in those last 3 days or 4 days or however many days ago that was. Okay. So we left off where the people, first of all, actually, back up. We'll get there. Again, I just talked about this on my Instagram. I posted a little reel about it, but I am just going to use the same content and just recycle it. Work smarter, not harder. And I just wanted to say that if I talk about you in this podcast, or if I talk about anybody in this podcast, and if I am not lying or exaggerating, if I'm not giving away identifying factors of the people that I'm talking about, I don't care if you're upset of what I'm talking about. Because as I said in episode 1, if you are being a dickhead, I'm probably going to talk about it, and you probably shouldn't have been a dickhead. It's not like I give away names or like, also, I think you're allowed to do that as long as you're not lying, because then it's not like defamation or whatever. So, yeah, if it's an experience that I had with you, you gave me that experience. That experience is now mine. It is mine to tell. It's my voice. It's mine. I can talk about it. I can talk about whatever the fuck I want. This is my podcast about literally my life and my own personal stories and my own personal thoughts and opinions. So if you tick me off, best believe you're probably gonna be content. So just to get that out of the way again, which I will say over and over and over and over again, and I will happily die on that hill. Anyway, continuing with part 2. So, I obviously ended up giving up looking for the people who stole my ID and my wallet out of my car after breaking into my car, if you didn't listen to the part 1. And I then canceled all of my cards because they'd already maxed them. So, like, by the time that I realized that they were stolen, they were already maxed. So, pretty much, like, maybe, like, I don't know, under $100 left that I was just waiting for them to spend to see if I could find where the fuck they were going. Anyway, cancel the cards, call the cops and say, is there anything else I should do aside from cancel my cards, reorder new ones, report to fraud bureaus or whatever the fuck. And I decided against filing a police report at the time because the credit card company would be reimbursing me for the purchases, and it just seemed like a hassle that I didn't really want to then deal with. So the next day, I call ICBC, make a claim, find out that I was only covered for comprehensive and theft, which there wasn't anything of value, really. Kind of fucking annoying that they got my ADHD medication and Ativan, which ironically is for anxiety-related emergencies. That's why it's in my purse, not at my house. And then I tried to call TransUnion, but the automated message says, our wait times are longer than normal. Please try again. And then they hang up. So moving on. Perfect. Moving on. Next phone call. Because I have a bunch of people to fucking call and a bunch of shit to do, and this very substantial fucking to-do list that these dickheads now gave me. And moving on to next phone call. Call the pharmacy to request an early release on my medications and have them send that off to my doctor, which I then messaged my doctor because he's also my employer and I work for him. So I do realize that I have easy access. That is a privilege that I shouldn't have, but I do. So I'm going to abuse it anyway, especially in this situation. And I say, I know you're busy today, but if you can come, or you can find the time, please, to fax back the medication request from the pharmacy, that would be great. No rush. ADHD medication and Ativan are not urgent matters, and especially if I don't work for the next 4 days because it's a long weekend, which had a very, not a stressful at all long weekend. It was really great. Super restful for me. Anyway. So I say, that's not urgent, all good. And then I try to contact Equifax to report my stolen IDs, which is another fraud protection company. And they require 6 digits of your credit card number. And you can't speak to a human. So I call approximately 7 times, just guessing at the number of my credit card. And the digits of my credit card, which I don't even fucking know the last 4. The only reason that I know the last 4 now is because Netflix told me today that I am not allowed to watch Netflix anymore because I canceled my cards and I can't reactivate it until it comes in mail. So it said this card number ending in this number, and I was like, oh, that's the last 4 numbers, which I then reported to the cop. Oh, we're not there yet. Okay, anyway. So I tried to do it online also, by the way, and they charge a subscription fee for you to be notified of sus credit checks, which, again, even if I wanted to do that, I don't have a credit card, and I don't remember the digits. So keep in mind that at this point I have not been able to report my stolen IDs to either fraud protection company, which is very relevant for what's about to happen. Also, my gas lights turned on throughout this time period, by the way. So I'm just driving around with my gas light on and no money to put gas into the car, which is not stressful at all. It's totally fine. We're fine. You know that meme with the little dog and there's fire everywhere and it's like everything's fine? That's me. That's not even me this week. That's me all the time. I relate to that dog so hard. Anyway. So I park at the bank intending to request either a new debit card or a temporary card when I see that the nurse from the office that I work at is calling me. And I answer, and she goes, "Are you trying to rent an apartment?" And I say no. And then she said, somebody just called because they're trying to rent an apartment across town, and they were calling for a reference. And I'm like, cool, okay, I'm gonna go to the police station. And she texts me the property manager's name and information, which was very fucking convenient. And then I speed to the fucking cop station, gaslight's still on, and I go report it, do all the things, have all the chats. I have to give my birth certificate and passport as ID because we know why. Which thank fucking God I knew where both were, and thank fucking God that the passport isn't expired. Otherwise I would be royally fucked. It would not be a good time it's already not a good time for me, but if I didn't have those, I would probably go on EI for like mental stress leave. Anyway, report it. I leave and wait for the officer to call me that will be handling my case, and I call my mom, and she stays on the line while I go from drugstore to drugstore to gas station, seeing if any of them will allow her to, like, give her card number over the phone and, like, type it into the machine manually so that I could get a prepaid Visa. Didn't have any luck doing that. And so that I could drive to West Kelowna, I think I said where I live, I think I don't care, and go to these apartments that are supposedly, are trying to be rented in my name, which I don't know why I was planning on going there. It's not like they were going to be physically, what was I going to do? Fucking wait out all night or something? I don't know. My cortisol levels were and are through the roof, and my stress levels are making it so that my frontal lobe is not working properly. Leave me alone with the decisions I made throughout this day. Anyway, the officer ends up calling me, And I park and explain the theft while he asks if I've contacted fraud bureaus and canceled my credit cards, which this is a very fucking frustrating experience, by the way, because every single person that you fucking tell, even if it's like midday the next day, or even 2 days later, they're like, did you cancel your credit cards? I'm like, that was the first of 60 phone calls I made, thank you. Also, that number is not an exaggeration. Since 1 week ago when this happened, I have either made or taken over 60 phone calls because I counted, because I was like, I feel like I've spent a lot of fucking time on the phone. And I don't like even making a dentist appointment or calling to make any appointment. So you can imagine how much fun this is for me. So I also ask, I've been able to report it now to TransUnion somewhere in between all of this happening, but was not able to report it to Equifax. So I ask him if he knows anything I might not about how to report it to Equifax. And bro starts Googling it. Like, thanks, sir. I didn't try that first. Like, also, he's like a corporal. Like, really? Isn't that like a higher than an officer or something? I don't know. I don't know cop language. It didn't matter to me until, well, it does matter. Not the point. Okay. So, then, I say, if you know the apartments that they're trying to rent, can you not, like, set something up and then be there when they're there? And he said, well, that would be like an undercover type operation situation, which usually that's only done if somebody's, like, life is in danger. There's a lot of admin and paperwork that needs to be approved, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay. All right, I guess I can understand that, or I don't understand that because I don't work for the RCMP. So, like, I will just give him the benefit of the doubt and assume that he would try if he could, but it would just not end up being beneficial to anybody. So, we hang up and I email the property managing company, whatever, saying, please do not rent to these people. They are not me. And I start driving again, and I get 2 streets down while I was on my way to a body shop, or car auto body shop, when the property manager calls me and says she has their info and the application with my name on it and the scammer's cell phone numbers. So she also said that they currently think the references are approved for the apartment because she was willing to be able to work with me or the cop or police report or whatever to see if they could catch them. And because that's what I thought too, and that's what she thought too. Wow, weird that they can't and couldn't because of admin things, which, again, I don't work for them, but I do feel like it was a mix of admin things and also a mix of I don't feel like it. I could be wrong, but that's what I feel like. Anyway, so I call the cop shop back and re-report this new information and then wait again for the officer to call me. And I continue driving to the auto body shop. And by the way, this entire time that I'm driving, there's a plastic bag over my passenger side window, taped over. So I can't see anything out my passenger side window to check and see if anybody's coming from my right side. So I've been checking by coming to a full stop at the stoplight or stop sign or whatever, and then poking my head out the sunroof to see if anyone's coming, and then dropping back in. Just to add to your entertainment, because I imagine for anybody else that would have been fun to watch, but that was my life. So I'm driving to the auto body shop, and then where was I? Did I tell that story already? Oh, no. Okay, so cop calls me back, and then I say, with the new information and the property manager willing to, set something up, can you not be there? Not setting something up. Can you not be there if you know exactly where they're going to be at an exact time and just show up at that time? And he said, but organize a appointment or something. I'm like, no. You're not organizing anything. You're not doing anything. You just know where they're going to be at what time. Can you not show up? And then he said something about well, to even do anything or make an arrest, we would need to be able to prove that they had intent to rent an apartment in your name when they broke into your car. And I said, I'm pretty sure they know they're using my name to rent an apartment. Like, seems pretty fucking intentional to me. Anyway, can't do that, as it turns out. Don't ask me what they actually helped me with, because I can't really. Okay, it was transferred to a different cop that seemed to care more and was a lot nicer and was a lot more helpful. So there is that. But the first fucking dude was a okay. Even if you can't do any of that, and like there's admin that prevents you from being able to do your job. He still didn't seem like he cared or wanted to try. Like, it was kind of just like, next thing, like, I'm at work, like, this is it just felt like I'm getting paid to be here. I don't want to be here. Anyway, which, if you're a cop, you should be doing it because you want to fucking help, not for, like, power or money or whatever the fuck weird ass reasons that a lot of people do it for. Anyway, can't do it. Show up at the auto body shop. They come and take a look at the window and the damaged panels on either side because they opened the hood, and I didn't know that. And while I was driving, the hood flew up. Thank God didn't smash the front window, and dented the panels on either side of my vehicle. So they say they're booking into August, which by this point it is like 4 p.m., 4:30 p.m. I'm fucking over it. I'm over everything. I'm tired. I'm grouchy. I haven't eaten yet, and I have to pop my head out of the sunroof to check and see if anybody's coming before I go. So, not in a great mood. My friend messages me and says, "You're not at work." And I'm like, "No. Where are you?" Crying in a auto body shop parking lot. What are you doing? Which one? This one. Where's that? This area of town. Can you wait 8 minutes? Sure. Which made me happy in that moment because, like, a lot of shit had just gone down and a lot of stress, and just to even see a human that I like and am friends with, and just to have a connection of somebody being there was nice in itself. So that was, anyway. I call my mom, chat with her for a little bit, and then I think I ended up being on the phone, with the cop. Again, I don't know. He was calling for information or my email address. I don't fucking know. He was calling for something. And then my friend shows up while I'm on the phone and hands me Advil and a DoorDash gift card because he knew that I didn't have any money or credit cards or anything to eat food, and I had complained about not having Advil because that was also in my bag. So he brought those, which is fucking lifesaver, actually. I just took the Advil earlier. Like, otherwise I'd have a headache right now. Anyway. So, I end up going to a different auto body shop and giving them my claim number, and while I'm kind of sitting there waiting for them to do their paperwork thing. Oh, actually, no, sorry. I had called them first, and then they said they didn't have anything until Tuesday, and I was like, I'm going across town to get my IDs retaken on Tuesday, and then she was like, can I put you on hold? Said, yeah. Comes back on. Can you just make it in like 15 minutes? Like, can you come down now? And I was like, yes, I can. And then I go down. So anyway, waiting in the waiting room. They're doing their thing. I'm kind of telling them how my day's gone. And it's really fun, actually, to see people's reaction, because a lot of people know that I got my ID stolen and my car broken into. But when I dropped they tried to rent an apartment in my name. They're like, oh, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, yeah, so am I. Anyway. And, buddy, I'm not going to say which shop it is because they helped me out they were so nice and so willing to kind of bend rules just to give me a fucking win, that the exceptions they made for me were not legal, I don't think. So, anyway, guy goes out, looks at my car, and says, like, yeah, we can fix this. It will not be end of August, be much sooner than that. Like, we'll give you the rental car today kind of thing. And we go back in. He makes me a coffee. I'm chatting with the receptionist. He says, feel free to tell me if the coffee's terrible. I said, I will absolutely not, because any calories right now is a great thing. You know, like trying to laugh about like a shitty situation, but that might have been kind of dark. And they ask for, they're like, do you have any credit card, or do you know the credit card number to put down to be able to drive the rental car? No deposit comes off of it or anything, like no money. It's just like there if there's a like parking ticket or whatever the fuck. And I say, I need to wait for my mom to come back into service, and then I can get her to send me a picture. So I'm like sitting there waiting, and like time is going on. And then the receptionist says, my manager has decided that he would be happy to put down his credit card for you. And I'm like, oh my fucking God, thank you so much. And like no money comes off of it, but still, like, that's, you know, it was, I didn't know what to say, because like I felt bad. Like I felt like a little fucking kind of like pity party. Not that they were making me feel that way, that's just how I felt. So I was uncomfortable accepting that. And anyway, continuing the process, and they're like, do you have your insurance papers? And I was like, no, I do not, because I was paranoid that they would get taken out of my car, because now I have a new trauma about my car getting broken into, especially if there's just a plastic fucking bag covering the passenger side window. So I took them out and I put them in my house, and I do not have them. And they just kind of say, okay, it is fine. And I didn't have a driver's license ID either, so they just kind of took my passport, which this is the part where I don't think is legal. And I'm also not driving with a license, so I'm driving illegally, because I'm not just going to fucking stop driving even though I'm licensed and somebody just fucking took my, like, no, not doing it. So they do me a real fucking solid, and I take invalid paperwork for me to be able to legally drive the rental car with insurance. And the manager shows me out and shows me the rental car, like, and just kind of saying goodbye, whatever. And bro passes me a $20 bill and says, go get something to eat. You've had a tough day. And I'm like, no. I feel really fucking awkward accepting any gifts to begin with. And I be like, aw, you know? And I was like, I would tell you if I don't want to take it, but I know that you wouldn't do it if you didn't want to do it. So thank you so much. And then like I get in the car and I take off, and I call my mom, and they are at this point on their way to where I live, because my mom was planning on giving me some cash or something to get me through, and they were coming to visit my grandma, because she lives here, and she was recently diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer and was on chemo for a bit and doing kind of well, but they've since stopped it, and her prognosis is August. So just for a little dark cherry on top, if you really want to know how my week has gone. Anyway, talking to my mama, explaining to her how people are nice, and she's like, see, some people are nice. I'm like, yeah, it's really fucking hard to find them, but yes, they are. And I tell her I'm going to stop and pick up food because I haven't eaten yet, and I'm like, I'm also probably going to grab a bottle of wine. And then I was like, wait, how the fuck am I going to grab a bottle of wine? I don't have I don't have a card, or like, I have $20, but that's for food. And then I was like, I think alternatively. And she was like, do you want me to stop and pick up anything? And I'm like, I don't want to take any other favors from anyone today. So I'm like, no, I can figure it out. I will just use the manager's $20 for a bottle of wine, and I'll use my friend's DoorDash gift card for food. I had a rough day. Leave me alone. Actually, it's been a really fucking rough week. Yeah, that's pretty much the end of it. As I said, I've since made and or taken 60 plus phone calls. I do not have any cards in the mail yet. I have to, for some reason I didn't think of this, I have to go to the bank and bring IDs and take out money without my actual card. But if you have ID, you can take out cash, which I got transferred from my savings with the first trip, and then I got paid the second trip, so that was kind of nice. So now I have money again. Except I forgot the cash at home because I'm not used to carrying cash, and then I wasn't able to go to the store after work today. But it's okay, it's a learning curve. Character building experience. Yeah, that's that was my week. That's part 2 of my story of this episode. I hope that you had fun listening, or that it was entertaining, or is any kind of something good for you, because all of it was relatively shit for me, except for the few people that really came through and made me go, oh. I feel lucky for the people in my life that in crisis are willing to drop things for me, there's another friend that we've recently kind of had a weird relationship because some shit kind of went down with us, but we like love each other and miss each other. We're just kind of taking a hanging out break. I don't really know. But she messaged me and said, I was going to send you food, but then I wasn't sure if you'd be home, and I got anxious, but I want you to know that I hope you're okay, and I'm here for you if I need you. And I was like, oh, that's also really fucking sweet. Yeah, so people have been nice and reminded me how much I love my friends and my humans around me, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, done. Oh, also, last night I cut like 2 to 3 inches off my own hair. So just if you're wondering how my mental health is doing, I'll leave you guys with that. Bye.